Here are two examples of the Blockade Runner badge or Blockade Breaker badge. These two examples are in zinc, the one on the left from Rudolf Karneth and the one on the right from Schwerin of Berlin, probably the most prolific maker of Kriegsmarine badges out there. The badge depicts a merchant vessel breaking a chain that's around the border, the circumference of the badge. And it also has this Art Deco style eagle with a small swastika and the talons on the bow of the ship. So these two examples are in zinc, and this one with its brass yellowish color is the version in tomback. I just love the way that eagle looks on that one. Again, Art Deco style. It was big in the 1930s. You saw it all over the world, and the Third Reich badges and architecture had influence both on the style and from it. So you would get these badges if you were part of the merchant vessels that successfully brought or tried to bring commodities back to Germany. The blockades were set up, which were not necessarily a line of ships, but more of the movement to prevent the flow of commodities, raw materials, natural resources into Germany. So whether that be through setting mines, through actual defensive campaigns at the sea, sabotage, espionage, any number of things that would qualify as partaking in the blockade of ships. So the blockade runners were the ships that would actually, they were faster ships. They would go out and they would bring in massive quantities of tonnage of raw materials that were needed at the time desperately by Germany, and you know, they would constantly be under assault, especially by the British, who had a long-standing history of naval blockades. And Germany would have to get things from its allies, such as Japan, or a lot of stuff came from Sweden and Argentina, neutral countries, through the North Sea, through the Atlantic. They came through the Mediterranean, and the British were everywhere. They had their ships everywhere, and they had ways of tracking down these ships and trying to attack them, sink them. A lot of times the Germans would just scuttle them, as opposed to have the raw materials fall into enemy hands. So this whole idea, I mean, there's just so many topics dealing with World War II and the economic blockades, naval blockades. These are fascinating topics, and they relate to many other previous conflicts, global conflicts, and the same concept where a country desperately needs raw materials for its existence and expansion of war activities, and they have to get them, source them globally, and it becomes a huge challenge. So again, the Blockade Breaker badge awarded to those blockade runners bringing materials and resources back to Germany during the naval blockade period.